Hey, well, I'm Corey Strathmeyer. I'm actually the Director of Healthy Living for the YMCA of York and York County, and also the chair of Eat, Play, Breathe York, which is our initiative.
My name is Tom Landis. I'm with the City of York, and I am the Superintendent of Recreation and Parks.
My name is Sean Undercuffler, and I'm with the city's health department, and we are one of many change agents in our city.
So our presentation is a little bit more serious because we're really serious about play. And so we're going to give you some information. Please don't ring that little bell, whoever is in charge of that. So our vision is a transformed community where healthy lifestyle choices are always available and convenient for all. And that word all is really important to us because we're really focused on health equity, and we are seeking to reach people who not only live in our city and work there, but come in for educational purposes or for play, and we are trying to reach all sectors. Unfortunately, one of the members of our team left already, Mayor Bracey, but you can see her leading 1,500 students biking to school. Our bold goal is to be 10 and 10, and what that means is our health county rankings, we're number 18 out of 67 counties, and so based on some of the health indicators like health behaviors, social, economic factors, and physical environment, things that our team, we know we can have an impact on, we want to change that in 10 years. So that's our bold goal. And how we're going to do this, and this is really important to us, is that's listening to the community members and engaging additional partners, strengthening the partnerships we already have, and implementing policy systems and environmental changes so that we are sustainable, but also implementing some programs or linking to currently offered programs to educate our community and really make a big change. So we do believe that by increasing opportunities for play, whatever that may be, in safe and tobacco-free environments, that we really can affect the lives of everyone who enters our city. So we've been doing this through schools with curriculum changes, environmental changes, events. I already mentioned Bike to School Day. We're working with community and faith-based organizations like the Y. We have a task force that is renovating one playground a year since 2009. Our work sites, you can't really see this picture very well, but we have we call it a big kid event called Bobsticle Race, so only big kids are allowed to play. Uh-oh. Whoops, sorry. And by working with our community at large, that's the 1,500 people who participated in Bike to School Day, and that's our city hall. So we are really working on policy systems and environmental changes, and I want to show you just a clip from a video. And this is from a child named Savannah who lives in public housing, and how these policy systems and environmental changes has affected her life.
Crosswalks in the city. My mom lets me roller skate on the ones all around the park. I'm also allowed to walk my brother to school because of the new crosswalks and all the new safety signs. Recess and gym at our school used to be really boring because we only had a cement pad. But now we have an exciting playground with lots of safe and fun equipment, so we can run around and get lots of exercise. A whole bunch of schools work together to build this really big garden in our neighborhood. So at school we get to go plant and learn all about fresh fruits and vegetables. And the best thing is we get to eat them. We also learn about healthy food and exercise at the free Play Streets events in the city.
Trees with apples on them, that's the orchard. Fruit farm is the fruit on the ground, but when it's up in a tree, it's
We have bike education in school and at events. Our city has new bike racks and bike lanes all over town. We are proud to be a bike-friendly city. Since I have asthma and little brothers and sisters, I think it's good that we have a policy that people should not smoke in houses or parks in our neighborhood. Smoking is bad for your health. Join me and my whole family in having a healthy environment and being very healthy and having a tobacco-free life.
So that's an example through a child's eyes, how our work is directly impacting their daily life. So obviously we cannot do this work by ourselves. We work with many essential stakeholders in our community, and which helps us make informed decisions for our work going forward. And actually, through our task forces and our newly developed advisory council, we're going to hopefully broaden our reach, really focus on those groups that make key decisions in our city, and really trying to incorporate our work into their activities, really to align our efforts to leverage resources that we have and also that they have available to them. And we do have one question for the experts. How to engage members of all sectors of the community to provide the following: their voice, their commitment, their time and resources, their passion, and ability to find common ground. How do we do that?
And then as a judge, not the judges, excuse me, as the experts think about a response, maybe you can provide a little bit of context in terms of are there barriers that you've come across in terms of looking for that support where you've heard no's or?
We've been working on this effort since 2010. Actually, the Y was a convener of this group through a grant. And initially, we focused a lot on workplace wellness and focused a very strong effort on policy systems and environmental changes. So over the past almost 5 years, we've attended lots of conferences, got more grants, and we have really started to realize that although we were pulling in the community members on different levels and different sectors, we don't feel like we're really getting this huge feeling. Now, our community is about 43,000 people. The majority of our children, more than 90%, are free and reduced lunches. So we're pretty ethnically diverse in the community. But we are trying on certain tasks to work with populations, but we're not really getting this big impact statement from them. We have just started a photo voice project that we have students from various schools, all ages, and also from the library system and other organizations to take pictures. And we're using broad questions like, what do you like about your community? What don't you like about your community? What is playful in your community? What's not? And we're trying not to guide their answers, because it could be the scary pit bulls on the corner is what they don't like about the community, and then we would need to address. So,
Okay, thank you for that. Ben?
Yeah, so thank you for the presentation. I think it's great, and I know York well, so it's great.
it
to
wasn't
see what
very
you're doing.
playful. I'm sorry. Woo!
You had video though. You
And
had
you got
video.
that on film too.
You had video. Oh, I'm supposed to stand. So both Ryan and I are working in a bunch of places around the country through this method that's kind of recently been framed called collective impact. You know, it's this idea of people coming together, agreeing on a shared goal, and then figuring out what the metrics are going to do to tell you whether you're getting there. And I think some of the challenges that you have with this is that nobody actually knows what it is that success looks like. And I think the way that we've seen is when you can actually say what success looks like and you could show the data to all those different stakeholders, it means something, you know, and how fast do you want to change some of those metrics, and are you actually getting there? Really hard to do, but what we've seen in a lot of places is that's what keeps people at the table, because they actually are seeing whether or not there's progress and what it is you're actually trying to achieve.
Thank you.
Ryan?
And to pick up on that, because actually we were just talking about this during lunch. I think you have the elements of it, though. I think this 10 and 10, you know, there's kind of a specificity, you know, there's a time duration. I think some of it might be, though, is tying that to really what does that mean for kids and families and people. Because there's an element of the 10 and 10 which I think speaks to kind of greater civic pride in New York. But until you translate into that, into, you know, how are kids better off, I think you might be limiting how much you bring in folks from the community. At the same time, you might want to leverage that kind of citywide approach to bring in the business community. What does it mean to be ranking higher in terms of opportunities economically?
I was going to say, I mean, that's one of the reasons we have the Fit City conferences in New York, and one of the reasons that some of the other cities that I've been working with have begun these Fit City conferences. It's a venue, right, annually that actually brings together all the different stakeholders from the community. And so, you know, the events now, you know, can reach 500 people, right? And it's a reason to do a press event, right, and to do a press release. And it also can engage, you can specifically think strategically about whether there are sectors not yet engaged that you want to engage, and you can use that conference with a high profile to do that, right? So anyways, just a thought that, you know, a high profile conference that you have regularly to bring together stakeholders for dialogue can, you know, help to both celebrate your successes and increase awareness amongst stakeholders who might not be aware, but also continue the momentum year after year after year so that you're growing all the time.
That's great. And then one last comment from Dr. Pruitt.
Just, as you may know, we're big into competition, so, you know, I've got my Fitbit on. We've got our 100-day dash going on, and I hope you all are wearing your Fitbits. You're getting your steps in back there, Marvin. You guys have lots of, all healthcare is local, right? You know, so you have lots of little communities within York that it feels like you could peg against each other, or perhaps you're already doing that. It sounds like with the City Voices program, too, you've got a central website or someplace where you could get this stuff posted that says what we're doing for our little community. And you might be able to pull the local businesses in to say, oh, I can do this here, you know, and start posting, you know, the outcomes from these kids' voices saying this is what I need fixed in my community here. And then you might be able to pull in some of that, you know, community sponsorship to say, you know what, I can take care of that. But love what you're doing. It sounds like really good opportunities.
Great. Thank you so much. Can I get a round of applause for the team from York?